Think about a time when you have a difficult or frustrating time communicating with someone at work, school, or team.
I remember during my junior school, it was our PE class. So that time, meron kami practical exam. And before kami mag-perform ng practical exam na yun, yung teacher namin nag-advise siya na mag-practice na muna kami. Kasi yung practical exam na yun, sobrang malaking impact siya para sa grade namin that time. And meron isang tao, actually friend ko pa nga yun. So, nakapila kami para nga mag-practice shooting. And yung isa kong friend, kasi sumisingit siya sa pila, parang ilang beses siyang nakashoot ko siya, tapos babalik siya sa pila. So kami, iba, yung mga nasa likod, hindi pa namin try, hindi pa kami nakapag-practice ng shoot. So, sobrang frustrating sa part ko. Kasi hindi kasi ako talaga nag-voice out. And madalas, parang kapag na-frustrate ako, parang nilalabas ko emotions ko pag naiiyak na ng dali. So, ayun yung isa experience.
Oh, that question. I was thinking about the time when we are making our research. That time kasi I was assigned together with my two group mates to make or edit our documentary. So I was like, okay, noted. Okay lang ako ng okay. And then, I thought na gumagawa na sila yung naiintindihan talaga yung instructions. Pero hindi pala, hindi namin naiintindihan. I was also unable to cope up with the instructions of our leader on how we should design and what theme to use. So, yun na nga, sinend ko sa GC yung ginawa naming isang page. Sample lang yun. Siyempre, papakita mo na sa leader kung satisfied pa siya. But, our leader's not satisfied. So, she explained that we needed to do the sample outline that she provided. But, that was just a picture screenshot. Hindi ko alam kung paano gawin yun, yung ganun. And, after that, ako na muna yung gumagawa. Yung dalawa ko kasing katulong sa paggawa is natulog na. Of course, ako na lang ang kausap ni leader nun. So, through Messenger, we are communicating. She explained na dapat ganun ang team, dapat ang design, ganun din, dapat yung outlines, ganun din sa mga pre-provide niya na sample. Ako na hindi pa masyadong maalam sa software, I was really unable to understand. I am trying to. Hindi ko maintindihan kung paano ko talaga gagawin. Like, I was close to tears kasi ano ba gagawin doon para masatisfied leader namin. Dahil siguro sa lack of knowledge ko, we have difficulties in communicating. We have difficulties in our communication. Like, paano ba gagawin to? Hindi ko naman alam kung paano to. Napapaisip na lang ako talaga. Today that I was thinking about the time, natatawa na lang ako of how dumb I am. Because I can just ask our leader for the link of the team. Umabot pa tuloy sa 2 sleepless nights and 3 days na paggawa yung documentary namin. Ay,
So, I'm having a hard time when it comes to my responsibility in our school supply store. Nagtitinda ako doon and I think I considered it as a work. Half day lang naman ako doon. In my observation, napansin ko na yung mga ibang customers are having a hard time to communicate with me. Especially kapag hindi nila masyadong alam yung kanilang binibili. Kasi yung iba sa kanila, dinidescribe lang nila yung itsura pero hindi nila alam kung ano yung tawag tungkol sa bagay na yun, which is related naman sa mga school supplies. So I always ask kung ano nga ba ang bagay na iyon. Complete details ko sila tinatanong. May times na naiinis sila or nagagalit kasi parang kasalanan ko pa na hindi ko alam kung ano yung kanilang tinutukoy na bagay. Nahirapan ako sa mga ganun tao kasi kung kailan bibili sila, saka lang sila mag-iisip kung ano nga ba ang specific na kanilang bibilhin. It's hard to communicate with that kind of people, pero hindi ko naman sila masisisi dahil most of them are parents or oldies. To be honest, I just need to have more patience talaga, especially to those people na hindi masyadong active sa social media like yung matatanda, kasi karamihan sa mga bagay na pinapangarap sa kanila ay hindi sila familiar.
So, ang ikukwento ko naman ngayon is yung kabilang side. Nung sa akin sila nahihirapan, they are having a hard time communicating with me. High school yun? Oo. High school nun nung gumagawa kami ng capstone. That time kasi, dun sa product na naisip nilang gawin, wala akong idea. Kahit sa parte ng project na yun, no capstone research na yun, hindi ko talaga siya alam paano gagawin. Kasi sabi ko, parang ano pinagkaiba ng capstone research sa normal research? Capstone research, that time nga lang, gumawa kami ng product. Unlike sa ibang research na more of conducting outside. Ganun. That time, gagawa kami ng product na kahit ano wala talaga ako alam.
That's a very hard question. But I think one situation came to my mind is in school. There is one time na nagkaroon kami ng discussion as a class sa Messenger na what must be done para mas maging okay yung flow or recitation, ganyan. And me, as someone na laging nag-stand, syempre, I shared my thoughts or my idea. But my other classmates, they did not understand what I mean. It's like they took it in a wrong way and did not give any thought of understanding what I mean. So basically, they only give credits on what they want to understand. Yeah.
What assumption were made that might have had an impact on the situation?
So, ayun yun. That friend of mine, he doesn't give chance na nakapag-practice din kami. Actually, we're not that confident talaga na makakapag-shoot that time. So, we wanted na makapag-practice nga before kami mag-practice. Pero nga, dahil nga sa sila na bumabalik kasi tingin sa team. Hindi kami nagkakaroon ng chance na makapag-practice shooting. Maybe you found it na parang ang babaw lang nun. Lalo kapag ngayon na sinishare ko, it's very good. Pero that time kasi parang alam namin na kailangan talaga namin ibigay yung best na that time during the practical exam. So, we wanted na ibigay talaga yung best.
I was assuming that if our leader changes the person in charge of editing our documentary, would our documentary be done before the deadline? Or does she have prejudice against me? Or just like today, if I have prior knowledge about that certain software, would it be just too easy for me to ask the link to edit our documentary or to just edit our documentary? Would there have been miscommunication? I guess not. If all of us were working on that part, would it be the same as it was?
Assumptions that were made na nag-impact sa situation is tingin nila sa akin ay wala masyadong alam sa mga ganong bagay. But to be honest, I'm still young and I want to know much more about the things na hindi familiar sa akin. Maraming bagay ang hindi familiar. It's been 2 years since nag-start ang aming business. Marami akong bagay na nadidiscover. So I think isa yun sa mga factor na parang tingin nila hindi mo alam yung mga bagay-bagay na kanilang tinutukoy, kaya minsan nagkakaroon ng impacts sa aming business, and I think one of the impacts is yung gossip and also competition, kasi meron din sa aming street or sa aming barangay na may ganitong klaseng business.
Hindi nila ako nilagay dun sa sa product. Hindi na ako na-involve sa process ng product. Pinapanood ko lang sila paano gawin. Hindi nila ako pinagawan doon or binigyan ng solo na trabaho. Kapag i-involve nila ako, may kasama ko. O ayan, lagay mo yan dyan. Ito, kabit mo yan dito. Ganun. Pero yung naka-assign lang sa akin yung isang trabaho, din nila ginawa. Kasi alam nila, ganun ito yung mangyayari.
I think for the assumptions that had an impact on that situation is me and my other classmate has different opinions on that one. I mean, kasi yung shinare kong idea is different from what they want. Also, siguro what is impacting there is the mode of conversing. Since na-mention ko nga na it's only through Messenger, na we are only depending on what we read without knowing how the people actually say it or express it. Yun.
What feeling were you experiencing as you were going through the situation?
During that time, I can say, frustrating talaga sa part ko. Lalo na, hindi kasi nga rin ako magaling speak out sa emotions ko, sa feelings ko talaga. Parang kahit ang dami kong gustong sabihin, hindi ko nagagawa. Kasi, feeling ko, isa yung sa witness. So, during that time, frustrated talaga ako. Parang, sana naman bigyan na rin kami ng chance. Parang, sana naman, hindi lang siya. Pero bigyan na rin yung kami ibang classmates na magkaroon sa practice. So, ayun na naman ko din.
That question. I was really frustrated that time. Like, gusto ko magwala. Kaya sabi ko nga, I was close to tears. Especially na gusto ko naman maging useful pero hindi ko magawa. I want na may ambag naman para worth it yung dates na makukuha. Hindi yung paluto-luto lang ng pansit canton. Hindi yung nag-aambag lang ng pera pambili ng mga pagpapaprint, mga ganon. So, frustrated talaga ako. 3 days and 2 nights ba naman akong nagawa ng documentary pero rejected lahat. So, ganun, frustrated ako.
During that situation, I become more conscious with the needs of my customers. Nag-adjust ako based from what they expected from me. There are times na nasusubok yung patience ko, but when interacting with our customers and at times I become anxious kasi demanding ang pagiging in charge ko sa aming business given that I also have other things to do such as my studies.
So, ang dami nang tumulong. Ganito kasi gagawin mo, ganito yan, ganyan yan, ano yan. Dami. Habang nag-e-explain sila, gumagamit pa sila ng ibang terminologies. Yung terminologies na sobrang hirap intindihin. So, ibig sabihin ito papadali yung gagawin mo, or ibig sabihin naiintindihan mo. Hindi mo rin sila naiintindihan kasi nga, iba yung words na ginagamit nila. Hindi mo lang sinabing Bisaya or whatever. Pero, iba yung terms, yung mga terms in English na mabibigat, hindi ko na siya naiintindihan. Sobrang hirap. Na sabi ko pa nga, baka feeling nito, pabuhat ako, or feeling ng mga to, hindi ko sila naiintindihan. Parang ganun. Pero totoo, hindi ko talaga sila naiintindihan. Pero naiintindihan. Wala talaga. Sabi ko pa nga, sa isip ko, kumuha na lang kaya ako ng trabaho. Kaya lang, isang side pa is, baka mamaya isipin nila, puro madadali yung ginagawa ng trabaho. Hindi rin siya magandang view, hindi rin siya magandang gawin. And it, tahimik. Shhh! Magpapasahan na. Wala pa akong nagagawa. Oo. Pride ako eh. Siyempre, ba't ako magtatanong? Halata-halata, hindi ko alam.
Actually, I feel frustrated and at the same time, I felt alone that time. Kasi yun yung I have an idea na sure ako 100% na that is for everyone's sake. But they took it in a wrong way na na-feel kong sa class is ako lang ang mag-isa na parang ansama-sama ako. It feels na parang nagkaroon ng kampihan sadly, and I'm the only one defending myself. Yun.
How did the situation end or get resolved?
And yun, may isa yata kaming classmate na nag-speak up. If I'm not mistaken. May isa kaming classmate na napansin yun na ganun namin nangyayari na hindi nagkakaroon ng chance ng iba. Kami na makapag-practice. So, may isa kaming classmate na nag-speak up. And sinabi na nila na ayusin nila lahat magkaroon ng chance na makapag-practice ng shooting. Yeah, I think that's it.
That time, the situation was resolved because of our leader. Our leader assisted us in editing our documentary. We were in a hurry at that time, and she didn't have time to re-educate us on what we should do. As a result, she assisted us in completing our task.
During that situation, I always weigh things. I always consider my customers and what they expect me to deliver. Maraming pagkakataon na na-apply ko ang functions of management in our business as it helps me when it comes to decision making.
So, pagbigay na lang sa akin nung task, ang tagal ko siya bago na umpisahan. Tsaka na lang ako nagtanong kung paano siya gagawin nung malapit na. Kasi lalo sila na-stress na, hindi mo pala alam yung gagawin, hindi mo pala sinabi. Eh ako, nahiga ako. Siyempre, sino gusto magsabing wala kang alam sa gagawin mo, di ba?
I'm not quite sure if I consider it resolved. But yes, natapos naman. Fortunately. And it ended na yung idea ko is yung nagawa. And na-realize nila yung punto ko. But yun, I did not say anything, just go with the flow lang. Hinayaan ko sila. Siyempre, I am happy na for my idea kasi at the end of the day, it's for all talaga. But siguro a bit disappointed since no one approaches me na like a simple sorry, na they misunderstood me at first at naintindihan na nila ako na para sa lahat nga yung gusto ko. Yun.
If you were the supervisor, leader, or captain, how will you proceed to decision making?
If I were be the supervisor or the leader, I think I will try to practice having equality. Na it's important na everyone should have an equal rights na makapag-practice. Even though hindi siya sobrang magaling or hindi pa talaga siya napapractice yung skill na yun, it's important na magkaroon siya ng chance, ng equal chance kahit yung magagaling or yung magaling. Kasi I believe that when we try to practice that, we will become more great. Not super great, but we will become supervisor na magkakatiwalaan talaga ng mga subordinates. And for me, it's important to have an equality kasi it builds unity, respect sa isang organization.
The leader, or I was the leader that time. Anyway, hindi ko to sinasabi kasi dissatisfied ako sa leader namin ha. She's great. Pinapaunawa niya talaga sa amin kung ano yung gagawin. Pinagsasabihan niya talaga kami. Binibigyan niya kami ng example kung ano yung gagawin talaga. But, siguro ako lang talaga yung vocals. Kasi hindi ko talaga maintindihan. Anyway, tatlo naman kaming hindi naiintindihan yun. So if I were the leader, I would first ask myself if my decision was correct and then investigate the source of the problem. I would inquire whether the member I assigned is qualified and competent to complete the task. When I asked for help, that time everything went wrong due to miscommunication and my lack of knowledge. So if I were a leader, I would assign someone who is knowledgeable about that specific software. Aside from that, I'll check the progress so that nothing is rushed, and I'll ask the group mates if they're all working as a team. Furthermore, if I am ever to assign someone such in my circumstances, I will support them, ask what they don't comprehend, they don't understand, or assign another member that understands the software and the target design that I like.
This is so hard. If I were the supervisor or manager, I will be customer-centric, for I believe that my customers help our business in so many ways. Aside from that, I always practice rationality in every situation as I weigh things that are relevant and important for the growth of our business.
Huwag niyo kaliligtaan na alamin yung skills ng mga tao niyo. Para mas maganda nilang may execute yung mga ideas nila. Mas maging komportable sila sa ginagawa nila. Kasi, pag hindi mo ginawa yun, sa totoo lang, ikaw lang din frustrate. Kasi, it's either the work was a mistake, na talaga namang zero, hindi siya mailalagay sa papel, or hindi siya pumasok sa standard mo kung paano siya dapat gawin. 'Di ba? Ikaw lang din yung mahihirapan. Kaya lagi, unang-una, alamin mo kung saan sila saan sila magaling. Kung hindi mo man, or wala ka man time na gawin yun, at least, ibigay mo, halimbawa, ito yung task. Pili na kayo ng task. Kasi kapag pumili sila ng task, mostly, yung pipiliin nila is yung alam nila. If we won't try to know where they are comfortable with, where they can express themselves, and giving them the works na hindi naman nila alam is also making them feel discouraged.
If I were a supervisor, leader, captain, or someone responsible on decision making, I think the most important and first thing that I will do is to have understanding of everything. Kasi just like what happened, sometimes we become blinded sa ibang idea because what we want is different from them. There is no wrong for having different point of view. But what makes it wrong is when you're only pushing your own thought without comprehending other possible ideas na baka naman makahelp. And in order to comprehend or understand, as a leader, you should communicate effectively and properly with your people.